Just gonna crack open a nice Dasani.
Oh, we started. You know,
Hold on,
I
wait.
don't
have
think
no
I.
fingernails.
Hold on, wait.
Do you
Can I
want one?
try? Yeah, can I try? Where's my mug?
Your nook?
My mug.
Oh, it's over here.
Why is it over there?
Hi. Which one was yours? They all look the same.
It really doesn't matter.
I'm kidding. I'll give you this one.
Did you do something
The
to it?
cleanest looking one.
Ah, nice. Can I try it? Can I try some?
Fine. Yeah.
I don't think I'll like it, but can I try it?
It's sparkling water, by the way. Oh, wait. Hold on.
No.
Wait, shh. This is the best part. Beautiful. I actually, I haven't been, I was actually never a huge fan of these. Like, I hated this stuff. It just was so gross. I'm going to wince a bit because I have a sore throat, but you're gonna hate it. You're going to absolutely hate it. It's blood orange. Just go for sip number 2. Jesus.
You're right.
One of our acoustic panels fell down. So
Yeah, I don't think I like it.
you do?
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think so. I have a bit of explaining to you. I'm going to explain my symptom, my sickness is.
Yeah, go for it.
Hi, I'm sick. I've been sick for a week. It's great. Shout out to those of you who reached out to me. It was like, yo, what's up? Saw the story. I'm a bit concerned. It was when I was like, yo, sorry, the podcast this week, which was actually last week, isn't going to go up until Saturday. Sorry. And then people were like, are you sitting in a hospital bed? I'm like, yeah, sorry. And then I explained the situation. Basically, I had a really bad headache when I woke up last Thursday. And then I went downstairs, grabbed some Advil. And then I went completely blind for about 8 minutes, apparently. And then went to the hospital. They were like, yo, it could be meningitis, but it could also be just migraines with an aura, which is like when your vision goes all whack during a migraine. We don't really know. So they did a million tests on me. And then they just summed it up to a migraine. Went home the following Friday at like 1 o'clock. Felt better. But then the next day I felt like garbage. I was like coughing really bad, like horrible sore throat. The throat was horrible. Headache. I apparently now have conjunctivitis. It's gotten a lot better. Apparently still have it. The eye ointment. Have you seen the eye ointment?
Yes, I
can't
have.
talk.
You complained about it for like 10 minutes, remember?
It looks like, apparently it's normal, but apparently it looks like a little cement tube. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen those? Like liquid cement or liquid nails. Looks like that. I put it in before I go to bed, and it makes me literally cannot see anything. Like I cannot see a single thing. My vision is so blurry. But that's my story. I'm still slightly sick. I'm not feeling great. You can probably tell by my voice. It's not really anything to worry about. Like Cassidy's totally cool sitting here
Because I know what happened.
Oh, dope. All right. Sick.
That was
Moving on. We're answering your questions that you asked us on Instagram.
Woo.
We did something like this last season. We're back at it again. We have like 30 questions. We will not be answering them all. But we will answer a large majority of them. Do you
Whichever.
want me to kick it off with the first one?
Go for it. That was great. Sorry, continue.
So the first response we got was top 5 refs. You might be wondering to yourself, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. There is no list of top 5 refs. The person who asked this question assumes that there is a list of top 5 refs in Pembroke. There just isn't. So you're just mistaken. Next one. You want to do the next one? You have the same questions.
No, I don't know where they are.
What's on your screen?
My preparation for the Alabama thing.
That's it?
Yeah, look at
We're
how
not
much.
there yet, though.
I know, but like,
Did you answer anything else?
No.
Cass.
I'll just, ask me the question and I'll give you my answer.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
So a majority of this is going to be me answering them.
No, I'm going to have answers too. You just got to tell me what the question is.
No, you have answers to no question. You researched a topic without questions.
Based on the questions, I researched the topic.
Oh, I thought you just researched the Alabama thing because you knew that's what we would be talking about. But
No.
whatever. It's fine, Cass. These are in sequential order, by the way, the way they were asked. Do you think weed should be legal? The short answer I would give is no. But there is a lot of elaboration to it. I have some notes here, so if this sounds really verbatim, it's because it is. There are medical cases where marijuana, like medical marijuana, helps patients, dial in, focus. It helps them calm down. And that's good. But you're still smoking something, which we know is wildly unhealthy, like incredibly unhealthy. The fact that people still smoke just is bizarre to me.
What's popcorn lung?
Looking at my notes,
Yes.
you have these things in your lungs called the bronchioles and the areoles.
Yep.
And they're like the little,
They look like grapes.
they look like heads of broccoli, kind of.
Oh.
And they're the things that blood is on. So they're attached to arteries, essentially. So blood is pumped from the pulmonary circuit in your heart, travels to the lungs, where it ends up at the bronchioles. And then oxygen kind of just like collapses onto the blood. That's where oxygen exchange happens, and that's where the oxygen binds to the red blood cells. That's how your blood becomes oxygenated. Sorry, I can't speak. And then it travels back through the pulmonary circuit, ends up back at the heart, ends up at the left atrium, and then goes to the left ventricle, and then it gets pumped out to the rest of the body. That's how your blood is circulated. But popcorn lung is when those little broccoli trees... Me coughing is going to be a common thing throughout this episode. If this makes you uncomfortable, you should stop listening. But the little broccoli heads I was talking to you about earlier, it's when those just expand. And it's not good. It happens when, it's most common with vapes. It's when flavorings, often found in vapes, mix with the blood. And then it screws up your alveoli.
But vapes are different than weed.
There's this thing called dab pens, Cass.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not educated.
It's like smoking weed. It uses the same chemical that gets you high. It's called THC.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay, you didn't know what a dab pen was, so.
But I know what THC is.
It uses that same element as, it gets you high. Not as high as weed, I've been told. Don't look at me like that. I don't smoke weed.
I didn't. I literally
Dude, I'm
have not said
trashing
anything.
on weed right now.
I'm looking
I don't
at you.
smoke
I
weed.
didn't even say anything.
You kind of gave me like the look where you're like, how do you know that one, right?
I wasn't even thinking anything, honestly.
That's a lie. Ugh. That felt weird. Anyways, that's popcorn lung. Not really common with weed, but it's common when you're using a dab pen because I often use flavorings and they give you those conditions. I'm really bad at explaining things if you haven't found out yet. I also noted that driving under the influence of marijuana is so common, especially in states.
It's not legal though.
Right. But drinking while driving isn't legal, but drinking is legal. So people drink and then like, oh gosh, I got to go home now. So then they stupidly drive home, which is where accidents happen. Same thing with smoking weed. Granted, it's not as dangerous as drinking alcohol. I'm pretty sure your reaction time is just slowed down with weed, where you're just a lot more calm. But it's still proven to be inferior to just driving regularly. Smoking marijuana and driving is not safer than just driving. So that's also a point I wanted to make. But overall, there's like a bug. Overall, I don't really know how I feel about weed. If you had to, say, hey, Ryan, I need an answer, I'd say no. I'm not down for it to be illegal unless it's for medical reasons. Other than that, there's no reason for it to be legal.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't care. So
Yeah.
that's my answer.
I know a bunch of you potheads out there are going to be just so mad at
Wow.
me.
Okay, do you want to leave all of these like type questions for last?
Sure. So we're going to skip this one. Do you want to do this one?
Sure. Are you okay? The question was just simply like gun laws. So
I'm not really prepared for this one.
yeah, me neither.
It was just kind of like hey, I'm just going to explain it off the top of my head. Hold on, I am just going to look at one thing real quick. I remember looking at this thing that happened in Australia where they had a mandatory buyback program.
Oh,
what?
never mind.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna talk about New Zealand.
What happened in New Zealand?
Wasn't there like a school shooting and they immediately put into place laws? I spelled Zealand.
Sorry, I'm trying not to cough, but it's really hard. So yeah, when was it back? Oh, it was recent. It was 2017. It was either late 2017 or early 2018. Basically, Australia was like, yo, we have gun problems. We're going to have a program where we're going to buy back all those guns. We're going to pay you to give us your guns. Yes. And they apparently got over 650,000 guns back. And supposedly, murders and suicides went down. This is a weird topic for me. I'm not very knowledgeable in the field of gun laws. I do know generally what they are. I do know generally what the background checks are. I just don't know the stats on them, which is what you should probably know when you're discussing gun laws, because having stats on your side is the best way to win an argument, hands down. I just have seen controversial statements where people are like, oh, the buyback program was the best thing they've done. But then people on the other side were like, oh, but, they confiscated all the guns, but then mass shootings went up and stuff like that. I don't know if it is true. This is just pertaining to America. This is a question that's pertaining to America, not Australia. We don't really care about Australia. I mean, we do. Sorry, that came off wrong. Shout out to the less than 1% of you that live in Australia that listen to this, because
they might.
but yeah, I'm obviously against school shooters. Sorry. I'm not against guns, though. Obviously, you could make the argument that semi-automatic weapons... This is tough for me. Semi-automatic weapons are not really necessary for the public. I would mostly agree to that. I don't really see the reason why an average Joe like me should have a semi-automatic weapon. A handgun would do just fine for me. Well, I'm saying, like, man, sparkling water was a mistake. Why did I choose that?
Yeah, why did you?
Why did you let me do this, Cass?
It's
just aggravating my throat, but I need something to drink, and I don't want to go back downstairs. So short answer, I'm down for stuff to happen about... Sorry, that came off weird. I want school shootings to not happen.
I think we can all agree on that.
That'd be fantastic. I just don't want to I don't want to massively infringe on people's right to own guns, because I know there are people out there that are much more knowledgeable with guns than I am. I just generally say that if someone wants to hurt somebody or kill somebody, they're going to do it in any way they can. Guns just are the easiest way to do it because they're so widely available. You could make a case against that, but I will remind you that the 9/11 attacks were committed with a plane. And they have killed more people than any school shooting has to date. So just keep that in mind. I know that's a weird thing to say. Cass, don't give me that. But my point is, people that want to hurt other people will do it in any way they can. And generally, the common denominator.
They shouldn't be given access to semi-automatic weapons.
No, generally people that are.
I know, but they're gonna do less damage with, say, a knife than.
Right.
I don't know.
But they'll still do damage with knives.
Not
So
as
are we
much
then going
damage.
to confiscate the knives?
Not as much damage, though. I think there should be a
Well,
ban
okay,
on-
so instead of killing, 30 people, they'll only kill 6 people.
And wouldn't that be better? I'm
No,
not
I
saying
don't
it's
want anybody
ideal.
being killed.
I'm not
want
saying it's ideal, but I'm
I
saying
want
it's better.
0 deaths, and the only way to do that is to get those people out of here.
I agree. There's a problem with
So confiscating guns is going to drastically reduce the amount of people that are killed,
yes,
probably,
definitely.
but it's not going to reduce the amount of people that are killed, or it's not going to eliminate people getting killed. Sorry, that was people are still going to get
I'm not
killed.
saying if we ban guns, everything's gonna automatically be okay.
So my
but I'm
point
saying
is,
it's gonna definitely help.
the best solution is looking for a way to stop people who are horrible people, sociopaths.
I think that should be one way, but also another way, stricter gun reform and gun control.
Yeah. No, I don't think restricting guns is the answer. I think restricting the people that are going to kill other people is the answer.
How do you know who's gonna kill
I
other
don't-
people? How are you gonna
I
do
don't
that?
know. Get a mental background check. Get a
Don't
mental
they
health
already
screening.
do that?
I assume they do.
And how much has that helped?
But you can make it better. There's always ways to improve it. There was always airport security. It's just gotten drastically better since 9/11. So
I know,
my
but there
point
are
is,
kids who
it
get
can always be improved.
guns from their parents. I don't know.
Yes,
weapons
but that's
cabinet.
different. That's on the parents then. That's on the parents for
But
being
it's
stupid.
not. I know, but you can't control the stupidity of parents.
What?
You're gonna be like, oh, it's all on the parents. Well, yeah, but they still have access to weapons.
Sure, but the parents should just be smarter and lock up their weapons.
Well, clearly they don't.
Now they do. Once Columbine happened, people were like, "Oh, well."
If that were true, then
Well,
there
stricter on
would have
gun
been a
laws,
lot
then.
less school shootings. I'm just saying, I believe that there should be stricter gun reform and gun control.
Sure, but I think it would be much smarter to cut right to the big culprit, tackle the elephant in the room, and just get rid of the people
But without
that are
guns, they're
seeking
not
to do
going to
harm.
be able to kill as many people.
Without the
Okay,
people,
we're arguing in circles here.
we are. Hopefully that answers your.
But I just wanted to. The thing I said about
Question.
New Zealand earlier, the Christchurch.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
Did you hear
Oh
about this?
yeah.
They voted in favor of legislation to ban semi-automatic and military-style weapons as a result of the Christchurch mosque shootings that killed 50 Muslims.
Wasn't that person a psychopath though?
Doesn't matter if they're a psychopath; they still killed with.
No, what I'm saying, if you're looking for a solution to that, I'd just say get a better.
28-year-old Brenton
better-
Tarrant,
sorry, I
the
just burped. That's
self-confessed white
incredibly
supremacist charged over the mosque attacks, purchased his weapons legally online and modified their capacity by using 30-round magazines. He held a Category A
Yeah, he modified it,
gun
which is
license, a
illegal.
standard license for gun
Can't
owners
modify guns.
in
Can't modify guns.
New Zealand.
That's illegal.
I'm aware. But it was still obtained legally, so that should be changed.
Doesn't matter if it was obtained legally.
It still should be changed.
It's the person.
It still should be changed.
It's the person that was at
It
fault.
still should be changed.
Not
I'm
the
not
gun.
saying take away everyone's guns, but
No, that's what you're arguing.
No, I'm not saying take away everyone's guns.
No, you just said if
Semi-automatic weapons and military-style weapons, yeah, I believe there should
Do
be
you know how
regulations
incredibly
about
hard it is to get a semi-automatic weapon?
that. Clearly not when people have been using them.
No, it's still very hard to get a semi-automatic
But
weapon.
you can still get it legally.
And also, that was in New Zealand, not in America.
I'm aware, but that's an issue worldwide, Ryan.
No, generally there are more school shootings in America than anywhere.
And you think that's okay?
No, but I'm saying it's much harder to get your hands on a semi-automatic than it is in any other country where there are not as strict gun laws.
There are stricter gun laws in other countries than there are in America.
We have Cass, do you know how many background checks you have to go to? Sorry. A handgun you can purchase in like 2 days. A semi-automatic, you have to go through an FBI screening.
You can still get it.
I would suggest looking up an American background check for gun purchasing. I've watched a couple of those.
I'm just saying.
It just follows someone
There's
who's going
something
through the
should be
process of getting a screening
That's all I'm saying.
for purchasing a gun. It's genuinely interesting, regardless of whether or not you believe gun laws should be stricter. Let's move on though. Is that?
Yeah.
Because I want to answer most of these. Well, not these. Not those. A very inquisitive answer or question asks, is a college education worth it? There is a stat out there. I think we covered this in the last episode. It's like 55% of college graduates are underemployed, meaning the college education that they got was not required in the job that they eventually found. So basically half of people that go to college don't even need the degree that they got.
I think it depends on what field you're going into.
True. That's true. If
Like
you're going to the
science medical fields, yeah, please get a degree. But
true. Yeah.
Please.
I don't want some
and that's definitely required.
Some weirdo just wielding a scalpel be like, "Oh, I'm going to take out your I don't know, Junum now." But yeah, I think a college education overall is worth it. You don't need it though.
Yeah.
We also talked about this in 2 episodes ago. Sorry, 2 episodes ago. You don't need a college education. So, I mean, we don't really know much. We've been through 1 year of college.
It's not for everyone.
So far, it's decent. It's a lot of money. Unless you get go to a state school, which apparently is very worth it. Shout out to Miss Place. She is a very big advocate for state schools. But yeah, is that a fair answer? I think
it depends on the field and it depends on who you are as a person.
If you have the drive and you're very motivated, college should be relatively easy for you and probably fun. If it's doing what you love doing, then and you're driven to do it, you're all set. You just need to put in the years. Yeah, but you can also easily score a job out of high school that pays well. Maybe not easily, but it's still very possible. Do you want to skip this one?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll save all the abortion stuff till the end because we got
a lot of those.
We got a lot of those questions. Political affiliation?
Democrat.
Wow. I had no idea.
That should not be a surprise.
It was not obvious at all. Wow. Really?
Wow.
I thought you were a Republican.
Wow.
I am a registered independent. I actually just changed it from Democrat. I mistakenly chose Democrat. I did not want to be Democrat.
Why'd you choose it?
Because I thought it was either Democrat or Republican. I didn't know you could just be unenrolled from a party.
What did you do?
Dude, it just stopped. Okay? I didn't notice because I was reading the questions. Here, I'm going to go split screen because I can. I'm sorry about that. As we were saying, I am registered independent. Didn't know initially. Just changed from Democrat to independent. That's my story. Cass, you're a registered
Democrat.
I was going to say Republican. Oops.
No.
Democrat. You're like very anti-Republican.
No, I'm
you
not.
agree with nothing that Republicans say.
I don't agree with what they say at
You
all.
agree with nothing that they say.
That doesn't mean I'm anti-Republican.
No, you are. You think
if you're
everything
Republican,
that
I'm
they
not
think
going to be
is
like,
stupid.
ew, I hate you forever.
I'll only hate you for 40 years.
No, that's not true. I don't care about that enough. But
anyways,
I just
moving
don't agree with
on.
them.
Trevor questions.
Trevor. Oh, yeah. Hold on, wait. Can we just add the audio from the...
No, that's weird. Sorry. Shout out. We went like 5 minutes without realizing that.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
We
That's at 32. It was at 22 here.
We went 10 minutes without noticing that it stopped recording because the disk was too slow or memory overload. Neither of which is true. I have 64 gigabytes remaining on this computer. Anyways, Trevor questions. We'll just rifle right through them.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Woodworth asked 11 questions.
Yeah, shout out to him. We already did this.
Yeah, this feels weird.
Deja vu.
We did this, but you won't be seeing it.
Yeah.
And
wait, they'll be seeing it if they watch the video.
No, I'll just chop it out.
Oh, it's gone forever.
Yeah, you just won't see it. So we're only going to pick 3 of them because the other ones are just mildly inappropriate. We cannot share them on camera or on podcast or on air, whatever you want to say. Did you know that the one who signed off on the abortion law in Alabama was a female? Yes, I knew that. Cassidy also knew that.
We'll talk about it later.
Pick your poison: electric chair versus lethal injection. I am in support of the death penalty. I think if you commit an incredibly horrible crime, you should be punished with death. with death. Cass, like I said, I assume that you are anti-death penalty. And my reasoning was because you're a Democrat.
No. I don't think Democrats are...
This has got to be a stat. There's got to be a stat saying majorly Democratic people.
There's like a lot of data pointing to the fact that it's illogical. And I just believe...
The death penalty?
Yes. I just believe that...
Illogical?
Yeah.
Cass, a majority of the country disagrees with you, by the way.
That's fine.
Just so you're aware, a majority of America believes that you are just wrong.
The thing is, in theory, I'd be like, no, don't kill anyone. But like, if someone like murdered you, I'd want them dead.
Don't kill anybody, please.
Oh no.
We should all love each other. Unfortunately, Cass, that's not how the world works.
I'm aware, Ryan. I never said that it was.
You're not aware.
I just don't think it's. Well,
you're a Democrat.
Can you shut up?
That was a joke, by the way.
You're terrible at telling jokes.
I just want to make it clear.
You're not funny.
I'm hilarious.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
I see. I had a train of thought, and then you just derailed.
Sorry. You can continue your train.
No, because
I'll just stop talking
now.
The face of deep thought.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
You were saying how it's just illogical.
Oh yeah, I don't know. People are like, oh, but it costs more to house. No, it doesn't. It costs more for.
God, it's painful.
I can literally link. I'll give you the links that I used in my essay for the.
Yeah, I'm sure that essay is probably a hoot to read. You probably bring it up to parties and people just love it. You know, you just bust out your anti-death penalty and everybody's like, "Yeah, you're right."
But the thing is, I don't know if I'm completely anti-death penalty. I'm like, kind of over here, but like I kind of want people dead if you commit a heinous crime.
Wow, Cass, so morbid.
I mean,
how illogical of you.
No, but I don't know. I'm divided.
But to answer your question, electric chair versus lethal injection. A lethal injection.
Yeah, lethal injection.
Significantly more humane.
Yeah.
Although,
who would choose the electric chair?
I think it's still being used.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so insane.
It just uses a lot of electricity.
Oh my gosh. Mom was telling me a story about how when
oh yeah, this is when I was at the hospital, right?
Our grandmother was growing up. They still use the electric chair in Boston.
Yeah.
And like you could tell whenever like someone was being killed because the lights would flicker.
You're laughing about someone being killed, Cass. How morbid of you, Cass. How illogical of you.
I don't mean it.
No, you mean it. You think it's hilarious, Cass.
No, I just imagine the lights flicker. I'm like, oh, there's someone going.
Wow, Cass, how morbid of you. I would choose lethal injection. Like I said, more humane. Cassie probably agrees if she was erring on the side of death penalty. Are you okay?
Yes. Sorry.
Who's your favorite guest?
I love them all. I have no favorites.
I loved all of them.
Yeah.
I'd say the one I hated the most was Matt Bianco. He brought his own security team with us. His team basically held us at gunpoint, forced us to. Well, not you. You were in an undisclosed location, but he held me at gunpoint.
This is not funny.
And forced me to record in a 4-hour episode. So we did, and I kind of hated it. You know, being held at gunpoint is just a very
That's like not a funny joke.
Thing.
That's not funny.
Dude, it's hilarious.
No, it's not.
That joke kills at parties. You're just not in the party mode.
So many things wrong with you.
But yeah, we love them all. Jokes aside. Biggest fear, Cass. I forget this part. Did we go into this?
Yeah, we did. I said having a loved one die.
Oh, that's right.
And you're like, shut your face. We're gonna die at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's
because
right.
Because I was like, my biggest fear is you dying, and then me living
that's
without
weird.
you. Your face is weird. Sorry.
Wow, dude. I really want you to live, bro. You're just so cool. And then I say something. Shut up. Stop talking.
Because
you're weird. Gosh, I hate you.
Okay, that was you. I was being nice, and you're just like, oh, shut up. You're weird. Literally, what just happened? People can confirm.
Whatever, dude.
You're just a bully.
No, you're just wrong. Oh yeah, I didn't answer the question.
Hold on, I'm gonna continue.
Ryan, just shut up. Jeez, I hate you so much.
Ryan. Yeah.
Why can't you just go? Just go away.
Spiders. I hate spiders.
Oh yeah.
I
you hate spiders.
self-diagnosed myself with arachnophobia. I can't do spiders. Like that's the only thing I can. I mean, I guess I can do snakes if I had to. Other bugs, I'm fine.
Really?
Like I just don't care enough about snakes. But like spiders, whew, no, I cannot do that, man.
I just did the thing with your can that your mom always told you to never do, to take off the tab, because now you have like this weird, just sharp edge pointing at your lips whenever you take a drink. That was weird.
Wow, you're living on the edge, right?
I'm a really big edgy teen.
Edgy teen.
I'm not a teen. I'm an adult. What were you saying? It's kind of half listening.
Spiders. I guess kind of like dying without a legacy, like dying without people kind of remembering me. Without doing
Why do you care? You're dead.
I know, but like I feel like I'd care. Even dead.
But
I don't
you're
know.
dead.
I don't know. I feel like
If I was alive,
wanna,
I would really care, but I'm dead. I
know, but
I
don't want to
no
live
more
without
emotions.
I
don't
don't want to live without making like
a difference.
without making a difference in the world.
I really just want to make a difference in the
making an
world.
important contribution to this earth.
I just want to make a huge impact on this
makes
world.
fun of me all the time. I don't.
That's just
I'm just so insulted.
so stereotypical.
Your face is stereotypical.
Why is it? Never mind.
So okay, I think that's it for me. How about you?
My fear. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of fears and I can't just name one.
Bugs.
Yeah, but that's a dumb
You
fear.
freaked out. You freaked
No,
out
I
when a
know.
ladybug
I don't
was
like
on
bugs.
you.
I don't like bugs.
I think he's scared of them.
In zoology, I would love picking up isopods, which are those like little like curly like the balls.
They turn around and go like, "Whirr." Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They go, huh?
You know, they go.
They go, huh? And they go, huh? And then they go, huh? What? Sure. Yeah. Those were fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was fine with that. I
Okay,
don't
but
know.
like, what's your biggest fear?
I don't know.
I have no fears.
I definitely am afraid of something. I'm just not thinking of it right now.
Lame. What are you afraid of? Come on.
Hold on.
Come on.
I don't want to give like a lame answer. Like, oh, spiders. I'm afraid of spiders. Like, that's lame.
But like, I was being genuine. If a spider was here right now, I'd be gone. Just dead.
Oh, you'd be dead. Oh.
Yeah.
Boy. Big stakes.
Big stakes.
That reminds me. I once almost choked on steak.
Really? I feel like I remember
Like
that.
a lot, like back in our old house. It was like when we were like 6.
I remember that.
We were just chilling at dinner, eating some like mashed potatoes and steak.
Is your
And I was
greatest
just chewing a piece of steak. Like it was cut up. It was just a piece of steak. I couldn't swallow it, so I tried to swallow it. It was inedible,
logic.
so I tried to eat it. And then I ended up choking on it. And then my parents didn't do anything. They were just like, I'm sorry, Dad. I started coughing. And then for some reason they yelled at me. What is wrong with you?
God, stop choking.
Just stop being dumb. Gosh.
Is your greatest fear choking then? Choking it out?
Nah.
Do you
It's just a bit. You just said I said big steaks, and I was like, oh yeah, steaks.
Do you fear death?
I feel like I do, but I know it's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna die someday. I'm just afraid of dying.
I feel like I'm in denial about death.
Oh, you think you're just gonna live forever?
No.
What are you, immortal?
No, I
You're God?
Wow, you
Wow,
found me
Cass.
out. No. I don't know. I just don't like thinking about it.
Well,
If I
sorry
were
to
being
burst
honest.
your bubble, but Cass, you're gonna die one day.
No way.
You're just like crap. Shoot.
Dang. This totally
What?
ruined my day.
No. Man, golly.
Dang. But seriously, what's your greatest fear? You have not answered the question yet. You just gave a lame story about choking on steak. When
I don't
you
know.
were
I haven't
6.
really done anything to be afraid of something. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had gone skydiving,
Would you want to go skydiving?
I'm totally down to go
Me
skydiving.
too.
Dude, I'm down for that.
That'd be so much fun.
That'd be dope. Yeah. Obviously, as like a kid, I was afraid of like thunderstorms.
I love thunderstorms.
I'm not afraid of thunderstorms anymore. Did you just touch my knee? That's weird.
Because our legs are literally right next.
I don't know. I guess I'm afraid of. I don't know.
You're afraid of something. Come on.
I don't know. I guess I'm afraid of being a nobody.
That's literally what I just said is mine.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was like afraid
Oh.
of not being.
Well, no, that's different. You're afraid of
not being-
dying and
not
not
be-
being remembered.
Yeah, not being important enough to be remembered.
I'm afraid of like just being a nobody.
I
That's such like a posh thing to say.
She's like, oh,
I'm afraid of, not being rich.
what the heck?
I don't know. That's just felt like the
That's
way it was
lame.
delivered. I know it's lame.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Hi.
Hi.
This is the last one before the abortion.
Jeez, you dying.
Speaking of dying, Grumpy Cat has left us and ventured on to the next world. How will you grieve? Well, see, I can respect Grumpy Cat. I was never a really big fan of Grumpy Cat.
Speaking ill of the
It
dead.
felt like the Baby Shark thing. Like everybody loved to hate it. It was kind of like me, except I'm slightly more empathetic because Grumpy Cat was like a living cat. So I'm sad because
Rest
it's a
in peace.
meme that we will no longer see.
What the heck? Are you saying Grumpy Cat's only value was held because she was a meme?
Yes, 100%. Grumpy Cat was nothing without the meme it became.
She has inherent value because she's a living being.
Yeah, if Grumpy Cat wasn't grumpy, it would just die someday and nobody would care.
Jeez.
It made national headlines, Cass.
I know.
If Grumpy Cat wasn't grumpy, nobody would care. Sorry.
Rest in peace, Grumpy Cat. We
yeah.
will miss you.
I mean,
Just say it.
I'll miss you.
That sounded so.
Now on to the thing that everybody wants to hear about.
We got like a bunch of questions about
We
abortion
got, hold on,
laws.
we can count it up. 1, 2. Granted, they were all different. Well, slightly different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10.
Yeah.
Like 6 of them were the same thing. Thoughts on the abortion law? What about that abortion law, dude? The abortion law gonna hit the podcast, bro? Yes, it's gonna hit the podcast. That's the answer to your question. So we'll start out with the proposed scenario. Do you want to actually cover the abortion law itself?
Yeah, I have it.
Do you have info on it?
I do.
You probably have more info on it than I do
Okay.
because you have a lot of stuff there. I have like a list of bullets here.
Very recently, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey.
This is verbatim, in case you couldn't tell.
verbatim from NPR. So, sources. She signed a woman. The governor's a woman. Just.
Yeah, women. Surprisingly,
I know,
actually,
but
not surprisingly at all.
the 25 who voted in like the court were men. That's where
25 out of.
I don't know, but they won the majority. They were all 25 to whatever it was they were all.
I would also like to point out that generally, party affiliation has more control or has more influence on whether or not people think that abortion should be legal or not over gender. There are a lot of women, a whole lot of women, that think abortion should be illegal. Just to point that out.
Okay, can I continue?
Sure.
Okay.
Just to point that out. Just to clear up a common misconception.
Can you let me talk?
Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
She signed the controversial bill that's considered the most restrictive abortion law in the United States. It makes it a crime for doctors to perform abortions at any stage of a pregnancy unless a woman's life is threatened or there is a lethal, fatal anomaly. Under the new law, doctors in the state can face felony jail time up to 99 years if convicted. I should know a lot of people believe that it says that a woman will serve 99 years if she has an abortion. That's not true in the Alabama law. In fact, the bill states, this bill would provide that a woman who receives an abortion will not be held criminally culpable or civilly liable for receiving the abortion.
So just to clear it up,
that's a misconception.
Is it the person who is held liable? Is the person that commits the abortion, like the doctor?
The doctor is held.
Just to clear that up.
Okay, you sound so angry.
No, because a lot of people are saying, women will go to jail.
I'll say more on that later.
Absolutely not.
Well.
Okay, there could be.
The This law does not take effect for about 6 months, so technically abortion is legal in all of 50 states right now. But the thing that rattles a lot of people is that there are no exceptions for cases of rape or incest under any circumstances.
Yes, that was a big point
Yep.
in a lot of people's argument
Also,
against this bill.
the main
I guess, is it a law or a bill? It's a law.
it's a bill, but it was signed into law
Yes.
by
So
Governor
it's now
Kay
law.
Ivey. It's not taken into effect yet, and the
Well, yes, but
ACLU will
it's
be,
no longer a bill.
well, it's been signed, but it's
Okay.
not in effect yet.
Okay, yeah.
It's quote unquote part of a broader anti-abortion strategy to prompt the U.S. Supreme Court to reconsider the right to abortion. They are campaigning for the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. Just to quote Governor Kay Ivey, she said, "Today I signed into law the Alabama Human Life Protection Act. To the bill's many supporters, this legislation stands as a powerful testament to Alabamians' deeply held belief that every life is precious and that every life is a sacred gift from God."
Okay.
I have many problems with that, but we're just going to continue. Hold on.
No, we won't even talk about it.
No, I'm going to talk about it. Just to remind everyone who... Are you okay?
No.
Cough over there.
I'm trying, Ben. Hold on, I'm going to take a quick pace around the room. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll just...
I'm going to bring my Dasani. You can just lecture on. I don't really care. I'll hear it.
Gee. Okay, just to remind everyone who is unfamiliar with Roe v. Wade or who has heard of it but like is unclear of what it is, it's a case that was ruled in 1973 by the Supreme Court that that says that unduly restrictive state regulation of abortion is unconstitutional. This was the court held that a set of Texas statutes criminalizing abortion in most instances violated a woman's constitutional right of privacy, which it found to be implicit in the liberty guarantee of due process clause of the 14th Amendment, quote unquote, "Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law." So that's the Alabama one. And basically a bunch of states are trying to urge the U.S. Why are you drinking more sparkling water?
Because I need liquids in my body, Cass.
Get regular water then.
This is water.
It's sparkling water.
It's just carbonated.
It irritates your throat.
But it's so good.
Oh my God.
Gosh, I like the taste.
Basically, conservatives are trying to, through these bills and through these laws that they're trying to sign, that they want to overturn Roe v. Wade. I know a lot of people were talking about in the questions. I mean, we can talk about that later. But the Georgia law, the heartbeat bill. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm just trying to sleep.
The Georgia.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, it just happened.
I believe. Hold on. Who asked the question? Can you go down?
Oh, is it this one?
No, keep going.
This one?
Never mind. I guess no one really asked about it.
What is
but
it?
Just so you know, the Georgia and Alabama bills/laws are they're different. The Georgia law, which would take effect in 2020, prohibits most abortions once doctors can discern a fetal heartbeat. That's like the heartbeat bill.
Yes.
But this usually occurs before women even know they're pregnant at 6 weeks. Keep in mind, that's 2 weeks of like missing your period. So this is the limit on abortion now at 6 weeks instead of 20 weeks. Exceptions are allowed to prevent death or serious harm to the woman, and in cases of rape or incest in which a police report has been filed. And I just found other things that said, like, Georgia and Alabama are obviously not the only states who have signed or tried to sign such legislation in the past year. States such as Kentucky, Mississippi, and Ohio, they signed similar bills to Georgia's this year. But there has been opposition both in the people and in the government. In Iowa, North Dakota, and South Carolina and Tennessee, lawmakers have pressed for fetal heartbeat bills. And in Arkansas, the state government narrowed the time frame in which women can have abortions. Yeah, I found a website that goes through every state concerning abortion laws. Can you shut up? I'm trying to educate people. How would you pronounce this?
Guttmacher
Institute. That sounds so weird.
It sounds so weird.
Shut up.
Wow, fighting words. Jeez.
Oh, I don't know what I pressed. Anyway. The states and the legislation that I just mentioned aren't the only legislation that limits abortion and tries to ban it. There are a lot of laws in place that limit how women can get abortions, when they can get it.
Okay, I think we've covered enough.
I know, but I'm just saying it's limited by there's requirements for physicians and hospitals. Something called, I don't know what that means. We're gonna ignore that. But basically, like, look at this chart. This controls when women can get abortions and viability. Like, the children have to be viable, or the potential child.
Dope.
Like, look at this. Isn't this crazy? Hold on, can we link this in description?
Sure, if you want to link that whole website.
Yeah. This
send me copy and paste the link.
Are you okay?
Just text it to me. Actually, yeah, just go to the top right, the little box with the arrow pointing out of it.
This one?
Nope.
This
that
one?
Yeah. Okay. So is that? Are we good?
No, not yet.
No. If we're gonna put it in the description, why don't we just move on?
I know, but I just wanted
to
give
a brief overview.
I don't know. A lot of states require counseling before women could, like, even begin the process for an abortion. There's like specific waiting periods that the government requires in order for the women to get the abortion. Some states require some type of parental involvement in a minor's decision. 45 states allow individual healthcare providers to refuse to participate in abortions. 42 states allow institutions to refuse to perform abortions. 16 of which limit refusal to private or religious institutions. Some states restrict coverage of abortion in private insurance plans. 43 states prohibit abortions generally except when necessary to protect the woman's life or health after a specified point in pregnancy. And yeah.
We good?
I think we're good. I think
right.
all of what I'm saying is on the website that we'll link below. Is just kind of wanted to give a brief background in.
Yay!
Before we continue talking.
All right, do you want to give our opinions on it?
Everyone knows my opinion on this.
Obviously.
And
everyone knows my opinion on it.
So really no. We can go through questions that people ask.
Actually, my opinion on it isn't what you think it would be. I am against this law, by the way.
Thank God.
Not because I don't think abortion shouldn't be practiced. I don't think you should have abortions. I think there are better ways to prevent having a child. I do, in fact, see it as a living being. That being said, I do not think criminalizing abortion is the solution to this problem. Okay? You have to remember, this is a Republican government. They don't like abortion. They view the fetus as a child, as its own separate living being, albeit partially true. I sound so bad. Anyways, the problem that people have with it is people view it as women's rights. I'm not going to delve into that. I'm going to simply say the fact that this is being implemented by some of the worst states in terms of education rates.
We should add that Rye said last time Alabama was 50th.
Oh yeah, I got a
it's actually 48.
Snapchat message.
So just to clarify,
someone was like, "Yeah, actually Alabama, yeah, it's not the 50th. It's actually 48th." I want to look. Which is not right. It's 46th. But that doesn't help you. By the way, that doesn't. You're the state is so horribly educated. The education rate is like 30-something%. Mississippi is 19%. It's the worst in the country, and they're one of the states that are implementing this law. So here's what I suggest: instead of criminalizing the crime that these people are committing in order to not have a child,
oh my gosh,
why don't
Massachusetts is the top state.
Yeah, Massachusetts is literally the top of everything. Everything good. We have the best education system. Period. Like no close second.
That's so weird. It says 50th is Alabama.
What is it? What is this?
U.S. News.
This is probably a biased source. It's 46.
Oh, where'd you get that?
Mississippi is, period, the worst. Like, horribly. It is 19. The closest is in the 30s. Like, there's not even a close second to Mississippi. But like I was saying, I don't think criminalizing abortion is going to be the solution. I don't think this bill is gonna stand. I think if assuming people petition against this, which generally I'm against petitioning because it hurts the public, because it stops it basically stops society. It's counterproductive. You're petitioning against something, but you're also causing millions of dollars to be lost simply because you're there. You're pausing traffic. You're causing, ambulances to not be able to get where they're going, where they need to go. It's the little things that add up. But like I was saying, criminalizing abortion isn't the solution. I don't think you should have abortions. That doesn't mean I don't believe women should have equal rights. Women have equal rights. The problem is what? Women have equal rights. Do you disagree with that?
Not everywhere. They don't.
Okay, I'm talking about America. Like, we had the same exact conversation when we talked about abortion in the first episode. America, where every citizen has equal rights. Every citizen in America has equal rights. Every legal citizen. I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. But what I was saying was, instead of the worst educated states criminalizing abortion, they should instead possibly make it easier to not have an abortion. I'm totally on board with a nationwide, healthcare system that implements either free birth control or drastically cheaper birth control. Birth control. If we're gonna argue that you should have birth control instead of if we're gonna argue that you should be on birth control instead of having an abortion, great. Don't make it impossible to get abortion, or don't make it impossible to get birth control. Birth control is not cheap. Make it cheaper. Make it easier to get. Make it free. If we're trying to reconstruct our healthcare system like Donald Trump is trying to get us to do, which I don't agree with, then maybe he should try to make it easier for women to not have abortions. If he's against abortions, fine. Instead of criminalizing
What are you
it,
trying to say? I've been tuning you out this whole time. What are you?
instead of criminalizing abortion, make it easier to get birth control, because that's the problem. People are having abortions not because they want them; it's because it's the only option they have. They're past the point of no return. They've had a child, whether it's by accident or whether it's by being foolish, whatever. They weren't on birth control. If they were on birth control, they wouldn't have had a child. So I'm gonna say I am against abortion.
That's not true in every case, but I'm not gonna argue.
No, I'm saying if birth control is significantly easier to get, then the need for abortion will drastically be reduced. Do you disagree?
Sorry, what?
Gosh. If we make birth... Sorry, you're not listening.
No, I'm not.
If we make birth control significantly easier for women or men, whichever form of birth control you're talking about, to get, that will greatly minimize the need for an abortion. Do you disagree? Do you disagree with that?
But I still think no matter what, there's always going to be a need for abortion, and if
sure, but no,
the women are just going to go back to the dangerous ways that they had before.
No,
before Roe
because if that does happen,
happen, Ryan.
No. Listen. You're not listening.
Can you stop talking down to me?
I'm not. You're not listening.
You're like, listen,
you're,
listen to me.
You're being very degrading towards my argument. You're just not listening to
your
No,
argument.
you're not listening to my argument.
Exactly.
But you should before making a comment on it.
I'm half listening.
It's like not listening to Donald Trump's, giving a 2-hour speech and then just calling, you're stupid. That's
because
that's not how that works. Sure. But that doesn't mean he passes some decent bills.
I'm not even gonna. Nope.
You think everything that Donald Trump has done so far is bad?
I think his face is.
That's preposterous. What? Oh, okay. Calendar notification. What was I saying?
I honestly don't know.
What was I saying? Oh, I was explaining my abortion argument, but
Can we go back to the questions?
oh right. If a raped woman gets an abortion in Alabama, she can be sentenced to 99 years. This is insane because the rapist will only get about 40 years. Nothing about what you just said is accurate.
She will not.
The women will not get. Sure, you can answer.
She will get the 99 years the doctor would, and I'm not sure about the whole rapist thing.
The rapist won't even get 40 years.
Yeah, that's messed
they won't
up.
even get 15.
That's messed up.
On average, they get 9.8 years, and they're
That's
often
terrible.
released on after 5.4 years on parole
Which is
or
disgusting.
probation.
Don't you think that's disgusting?
That is horrible.
Yep.
I think we should go back to the time where rapists get life in jail.
Was there ever time?
Yeah. Rapists used to get the death penalty. Back in the 70s, dude. Not long ago.
I don't know if what you're saying
And
is
a lot of states have abolished that.
Okay, next
for
question.
some reason.
Next question.
I do think it is insane. Not that the women will get jail time, because she won't. She won't even get a single day of jail time. I think it's insane that the rapist will only get, on average, 6 years in jail before being released on parole or probation. Thoughts on abortion bans? We already went through it. This one grinded my gears.
Oh, it's this one.
Does the father have the right to say no to an abortion? After all, it's his child too.
Can I talk?
Sure, you can input.
How do I say this nicely? It depends on the situation. I don't think the father has complete control over whether the woman gets an abortion or not. At the end of the day, that's her decision. But if it's it's like a married couple or like just a couple in general, and that, I think that's a decision you need to talk out. It depends. It really depends on who you are and who the father is. I don't think if the father is like a rapist and he says, you're gonna have my child, like, no, screw you, that's not happening. But if, say, you're married to someone and you want to have an abortion, I think that's the discussion that the two of you need to have, because you're a team.
That's fair.
But
can I disagree with you entirely?
The father does not have control over the situation. Complete control. He can have an opinion. He can have this.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's the woman's decision. It's her body. Okay, you can talk.
Okay. So I have two answers for this. It depends on what the law describes as an abortion. Currently, in Alabama, or not currently, it will soon be illegal to have an abortion, punishable up to 99 years in prison for the doctor, not for the woman. In that case, they believe that child, the fetus, whatever you want to call it, is a living being at that point. At any point inside the womb, it's a living being.
Which is not.
In which, can we not?
I'm just saying. Continue.
No. You have to realize, Cass, that people disagree with you, Cass. You can't live in this bubble where you think you're just right.
I don't think that.
No, you do, though.
No, I don't.
You just said it's wrong objectively.
What did I say is wrong?
I said, some people believe that fetus, whatever you want to call it, is a living being. You said straight up, that's wrong.
Oh, did I? I
yes.
forget what I said.
Oh,
I disagree with
Cass.
that. But can we
Thank
hurry
you.
this
That's more appropriate.
Can we hurry?
Yeah,
this
I know
up?
you gotta go.
Yeah.
Sorry. If abortion is illegal, it's nobody's say.
Wait,
However,
what?
it's nobody's say. If you're not allowed to have an abortion, nobody can determine the fate of that child until you deliver it.
I'm confused.
What?
If it's illegal, no one gets to say. I'm.
No, if it's illegal to have an abortion, meaning a woman has to carry out a pregnancy until she delivers the child, nobody can kill that child until it's delivered. Well, actually, no, sorry, nobody can kill that child. Not even the woman. If abortion is illegal, if we go back to how it is currently, abortion is illegal in all 50 states. No, because in some of those people's point of view, that's a part of her body. Sorry. If it's a part of her body, then you have zero say. You have a say beforehand when you agree to have sex with her. But once you have that, once you create that child, you have no say.
Oh, wow, I agree.
So in either situation, you have zero say. Well,
the father has no
once she has the child inside of her. But again, most people will talk it out as a couple and will honor, the fact that they're both
parents
raising
but at the end of the day,
child.
it's the woman's decision.
But generally speaking, couples are gonna agree are either gonna agree or disagree, or sorry, they're gonna agree on a solution, whether or not that's having the child or aborting it.
But I think we can both agree, woman has final say.
No.
Yes, that's literally what you just said.
If it's legal to have an abortion,
which it is,
not in Alabama, not in Mississippi.
Nope, it's still legal in all 50 states
in 6 months.
this month.
In 6 months. Anyways. We went through that. Nope. Opinion on Alabama law. Gonna cover that.
Yeah. Are we all set?
Nope, one more. This is the last one. Opinion on Alabama. Sorry. Opinion on Alabama, right or wrong. But I believe if you're not a female, you have no opinion.
I think that's exactly what we were talking about just right now. You can have an opinion.
No. That's different.
Everyone has an opinion, but your opinion doesn't.
No, I disagree with that. We're going back to a time where we're discriminating based off gender.
Oh, Jesus.
You're discriminating based off of someone's physical appearance or physical attributes. On someone's attributes. You're basically saying, shut up, you are a man.
I'm not going to say anything because we'll just argue.
That's just like going back to when slavery and racism was legal.
Oh, whoa, you cannot.
And saying, shut up, you're black.
You cannot say that,
Yes,
Ryan.
that's the same. You're discriminating, Cass. That's discrimination at its finest. It's funny how people argue for equal rights and then turn around and say because you're a man, something you have no control over, you can't have an opinion, a valid opinion.
Body, and you can't control her body. That's what she's trying to say.
No, you can have an opinion on the situation and actually influence. You vote. The way you influence something is you vote.
I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I'm just saying the
you
woman's
just
opinion.
said if you just said.
Can you stop?
You just said.
You scratched me.
Oh, sorry, with my non-existent fingernails. If
hurt.
You just said, if you said something along the lines of, if you don't have a uterus, shut up. Something along those lines. Something to that point.
No uterus, no opinion.
And I'm saying that's discrimination. It's funny.
It's not your issue to have.
No, it is. It's a human. It's a human issue. It's absolutely preposterous to discriminate and tell someone to stop talking because you don't have these attributes. That's preposterous.
But
and it's even funnier. It's even funnier that they argue for equal rights. That's even better. They argue for equal rights and then they turn around and don't argue for non-equal rights. That pissed me off. Because that's if you're at the point where you're trying to silence,
it's the women's decision. You can have an opinion if you're not a woman, but at the end of the day, it's her decision.
See, you're objectively stating it.
That's literally what I'm saying.
That's your opinion.
I'm not saying if you're a man, you can't have an opinion.
You just said that. If you just said if you have a uterus,
shut up. What I'm saying?
No, because what you just said is wrong, Cass.
Oh, you were just telling me the other 5 minutes ago, oh, you can't say that what something is wrong.
No, I'm saying in the eyes of the law, if abortion is legal, if you were allowed to have an abortion, which I disagree with personally, but I'm saying objectively speaking, if people are allowed to have abortions, the only person who has a say over that child's future is the woman, the person whose body it is.
Yes.
I personally disagree with it, but if the law says that you can do that, that's my answer. But I think it's absolutely...
Yeah, you've repeated yourself several times. I think
it's
we
just
get it.
backwards
I think
logic.
We get it.
I
think we get it.
Horrible logic.
I think we get your argument.
If you're at the point where you're trying to silence the opposition, you have a problem.
Oh, Jesus.
You have a huge problem.
Silence the opposition? Are you kidding me?
Yes. Silencing people's views, Cass?
I'm not silencing people's views.
You are, though.
No, I'm not.
You just said if you have a uterus, shut up. You just said that. Just said that. Did you not?
There are some men out there who believe, oh, if I say you can't have an abortion, you can't have an abortion. And to that, I say, yeah, shut up.
No.
Yes.
Well, now you're getting anecdotal. You're getting into very specific situations where a man directly tells a woman, I am assuming you mean a pregnant woman, you should not have an abortion. That's different from saying, I believe abortion should be illegal. That's different.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to say your opinion.
You just said, though.
Ryan, listen to me right now. You can have an opinion. You just don't have control over whether or not people can get abortions.
I would like to point out that maybe 2 weeks ago you said if you don't have a uterus, you don't have an opinion.
Well, that's because people without uteruses tend to try to control people with them.
No, they're just voicing opinions and you're trying to silence them.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
No, but see, now you realize that you're possibly wrong and you don't want to see that you're wrong.
No, I'm not.
You are wrong.
No, I'm not.
You can't discriminate people. You can't discriminate against people. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
If you're saying because you're a man, you should not have the right to vote on this opinion. I'm saying that's discrimination. That is discrimination at its finest.
People who argue that believe that men shouldn't
vote. You argue
vote.
that.
No. People who argue that believe men shouldn't vote because it does not affect them. It only affects women,
and that's something that
Ryan.
you believe, correct?
It only affects women.
Do you believe that?
It only affects people with uteruses.
Do you believe that?
Yes, it only affects people with uteruses.
I say that is absolutely preposterous.
How? It does not affect you whether or not someone has an abortion. It does not impact you in any way, shape, or form.
Hold on. You're saying just because a certain law affects a certain group of people, the only people that should have a say are those groups of people. I say that is the stupidest thing you could possibly say.
There should be taken over the people who it doesn't affect.
No, that's dumb. That's just reverse logic.
What?
You're arguing for equal rights, Cass. And then you're taking away rights of some people.
I'm not taking away rights. I'm
just
saying.
You're silencing opinions, Cass.
I'm not silencing opinions.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not, Ryan.
You're contradicting yourself, Cass.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're saying, Cass, okay, if you're a man, guess what? I don't care what your opinion is. It doesn't matter.
I'm saying some people believe that if you're a man, you should not vote or should not have an opinion on this topic. If I'm saying you can have an opinion on this topic.
No, you're not saying that, though.
That's what I'm literally saying right now. Don't tell me what I'm not.
You have never said that.
I'm saying it now.
Oh, you're changing all of your past views to now.
No, I'm not.
So you don't look like you're wrong.
That's always been my view.
No, it isn't.
You can have an opinion, but your opinion doesn't go above.
Okay, so which is it, Cass? Which is it? We understand that you can have an opinion. You're currently now arguing that I don't care what your opinion is. It doesn't matter because this is an issue that only affects women.
I have to go.
Classic.
Bye, everyone. This has been fun. Not really.
This has not been fun. No. Well, actually, the other parts of it have.
Bye.
Yeah, this is the second to last episode of the season. We will be releasing the last episode next week with a special guest. We are certain you'll like it. Hopefully you enjoyed this discussion. If you did, let us know. Let us know what your own opinions are. We're always open to discussion. Cassie and I have very set in stone opinions on things, so either of us, I'm sure, are willing to discuss any issue with you regarding the abortion law or anything in this discussion. I think that's it. We'll see you next week. Peace out.